Hi everyone, Splatter Trigger here, and looks like I finally got around to putting up my Pax East video here. And for those who are wondering what Pax East is, it was a video game convention that was held in Boston, Massachusetts from April 6th to April 8th. And I was only able to attend on April 6th, which was a Friday, and I squeezed as much as I possibly could into that one day. Unfortunately, there was a lot of places and games I couldn't test out, and so I kind of had to limit my priorities, and do what I could do with the time frame and the long waits and lines and stuff. I was able to see a lot of YouTubers from the community and whatnot, and actually bump into them on the floor, and it was just kind of it's a good feeling when you see somebody you watch their videos, and some people I met for the first time this time around too, and you instantly recognize them and you hit it off, and this is before the YouTube meetup that was later on that day. The downside to me putting up this video is that I didn't really take that much footage while I was there. So I figure I would just talk about it at first, and then the minute clips I actually have, I'll throw them together at the end of this video and throw up some pictures here and there. And if anybody's actually interested in seeing a full photo album of what the pictures that I had, I do have them on my Facebook page, and I'll be leaving that in the link in the description box here on YouTube. So without further ado, my day basically started off as my main goal for Friday was to go to the Lollipop Chainsaw booth, which was at the Warner Brothers booth basically. And for those that don't know what Lollipop Chainsaw is, it's a game that's coming out for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 very soon, actually, I believe. I think it's June-ish. And the reason I wanted to go there is because I actually wanted to play the game hands-on. It looks so outrageously out there that I wanted to try it out. Also, it was developed by a Grasshopper manufacturer, and a few days prior to this, Suda51, who is well known for being with the CEO of Grasshopper manufacturer, but also spearheading games such as Killer 7 and No More Heroes. He was going to be there, and he announced on his Twitter feed that he was coming to PAX 4 days prior in a week. So I was like, oh, I got to get to this booth. I'd love to meet him, and that's exactly kind of how it went down. I showed up at the line, and I waited a little over an hour to get, because let me backtrack there. I went there, and I was originally told when they had this huge school bus set up, and inside the school bus you could play the games, and outside the school bus was Jessica. I forget her last name right now, but she was cosplaying as Juliet Starling from Lollipop Chainsaw, and she's out in front, posing and running around with her mock chainsaw and whatnot. And one of the representatives told me there that you get your pictures, and I wanted to meet Suda51 if you went through the line, which didn't become the case because people could just walk up and get their pictures and shake Suda's hand and whatnot. But either way, I wanted to play the game anyways. So I went in line, and while waiting in line, it was pretty surreal because standing in that line, here on YouTube, I saw a few people walk by, we'll say, and I recognized them off the bat, yelled out. And even in line, Zombie 666 was there in line with me, and he recognized me as well, and we were chatting while in line. But Quick Freeze walked by, Josh from Games of War, Gambino Kane, and it was just an interesting little atmosphere because you could tell if you've been to conventions, the people who have been there before or been to these type of conventions, and the ones this is the first time they're experiencing something like this of this magnitude, because they got that ADD spaced out look, oh my, they're trying to absorb everything at once. And that was I'm sorry to say this, Josh from Games of War. He's walking around with his son, and he was just looking off at a distance, and he was so overwhelmed. I felt sorry for the guy, but it was kind of funny. I could, right off the bat, I presume, but I'm guessing, like I said, this was the first type of a convention that he's attended to, and it was nice, catching up with him as he's walking by and whatnot. Anyways, I waited in line for about an hour, played the game, which I must say I thoroughly enjoyed, and it will be a day one pickup for me. I got out of booth, and Jessica and Suda51 were nowhere to be seen. So I come back another time. I figured I'd go hit up the Nintendo booth, and I went over there, played. I went there, and I actually bumped into, and standing in front of the line was Quick Freeze, and we actually did the multiplayer Kid Icarus. We did the whole thing. Got a bunch of swag from there. A lot of well, 3 packs of Kid Icarus AR cards. A couple Zelda comic books. Xenoblade Chronicles posters. T-shirts. There was so much stuff I can't even tell you the bag full of crap I came home with. But after that, I headed off and I wanted to go try out Max Payne 3 because I love the Max Payne series, and 1 and 2 are just phenomenal, the story wise anyway. Yeah, I know the gameplay's a little dated, but hopefully Rockstar is going to do great things with Max Payne 3. And I say that because the line was so long to play that game that I ended up just going up to the booth and chatting with one of the representatives there and getting a little bit lowdown on the game. And she was kind enough to part ways with a couple of T-shirts and stickers and stuff like that, and hand off a bunch of stuff to my friend Joe too. But we didn't get a chance to wait in line there because it was just too long. So after that, I head off to the Square Enix booth, and by then, their little passport. They were giving out a passport, and like if you go play every game, and you'll get entered in a contest to win all this swag. That also was a long time in line, so I ended up playing the Rhythm Final Fantasy for a little bit on the 3DS, which is also going to be a first day pickup for me as well. Headed over to Capcom. I wasn't really interested in what Capcom had to offer, except for a Steel Battalion, and the line for that obviously was just so astronomically long. So after that, I figured I'll go back to the Lollipop Chainsaw booth and maybe meet Suda51, and that's exactly what happened. He just wrapped up an interview with Famitsu magazine, which is a Japanese video game magazine, and I was able to chat with him a little bit, and it is a little funny story, I guess. I had a guy, was just standing in the crowd. I asked him to take a picture of the two of us, and I had my iPhone, and I have a Cave cover. So he goes to take the picture, and Suda and I are posing, and this guy has my phone. Suda sees the Cave logo, and he's going Cave, 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 and he just starts going. He gets really, really hyper and agitated. And I say, I had a Mushi Himi-sama Futari T-shirt on, and for your iOS users, that's Bug Princess 2. So I had this Princess Rico shirt on, and so I wanted to tell him, this is like my shirt. This is my favorite Cave game, and I don't know what happened there because he speaks English. He just started prattling off in Japanese, and he just kept trying. I don't know what he was saying to me, but he was so animated all of a sudden, and he just kept going off in Japanese, talking like he was all hyper, and it was interesting to see him act like that. And I had to politely tell him I don't understand Japanese, but he was nice enough to have the picture taken. And through all the chaos of getting ready in the morning and stuff, I forgot to bring my copy of Killer 7 with me to have him signed. But I was able to get him to sign this, which was pretty sweet of him, which just ended up being the back of one of my postcards that I was handing out. But that was pretty much the highlight of my floor time. And I really didn't get a chance to hit up Sega's booth. My friend Joe went over there, and a lot of the pictures provided on the Facebook album, Pax East album, is from my friend Joe, because he was able to get into that. They had this huge display of you get in there and the aliens coming at you, and it just looks amazing. It was too bad that I didn't have the time to wait around for the demo. And I did hit up some used game booths, but I bought a couple of stuff at one booth, which they had decent prices, but for most places, a lot of those booths they were just drastically overpriced. It wasn't, if you're going for deals, you're not really finding them unless you're finding something really niche that may have been sitting on their shelf in their store somewhere for like a year. It hasn't sold, and you go there and you can lowball them a little bit with with cash prices and whatnot. But if you're looking for straight up deals on physical games themselves, you're probably not going to get them. And for the most part, that was pretty much the whole entire day. At the later on, we had the YouTube meetup, which sadly I did get some footage of, but it wasn't all that. It was maybe about I'd say 30 seconds of Jumble Junkie giving me the stare, But anyway, so like I said, that was my time at PAX East. It was great meeting up with Gamester 81, Pete Dorr, Chargeback Forward, Brian from Game Deals, Quick Freeze, Jumble Junkie, Games of War. and Gambino, Kane. I can't even remember half the people that were there. In the beginning, there was a mosh of people. There was a lot of people there, and then afterwards it tailed off. But it was nice to touch base with a lot of people that you just see on camera and whatnot, and meeting new faces that you don't know about their channels. And overall, in all, it was a fun time. Hopefully next year I plan of going the whole weekend. This year, due to being a family man and it falling on a holiday, you got to make that time for your wife and kids. So, but hopefully next year, I saw what was accomplished with media passes and whatnot. So hopefully next year I can head off in that direction and have the time to do it. But it was all around, it was a blast. And so stick around for just a bunch of random footage mashed together, And like I said before, if you want to check out all the photos that I took there, they're all on my Facebook page, and you can check out the album. I'll be leaving the link to the album and to the Facebook page itself down in the description box below. So take care, everybody, and thanks for watching. Enjoy the next minute or so of random footage. Take care.
It's like washing your hands. up, dude?
Get your pretty face on there.